Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating. It's Saturday, February 21st, 2015. Here in the Lynn body mind, there are 4 of us, me, Sam, plus Pan, Luce, and Paul the Attorney. In the Jamie body mind, we have Glenn the Commander, Asha, and Perry the Doctor. Asha is still recovering, so it's very likely we won't hear from Asha, although it's possible. Our intention is completely non-directive, to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to trigger the awakening right now. And with that, it begins. We're in a focus group, and this big loving presence is here, and we're going around the room and saying what's important, what we're aware of that's important.
It's true.
So I, Sam, can start because it seems like I'm supposed to. What do you know?
Right.
We're aware that this work is always a combination of our own personal growth work and that which serves the greater good. And we can see how that which serves the greater good is for us to reach truth to truth. And right now, to work with this extremely large being who is here with us in the focus group, and I'm unclear in what capacity, but that you see him, right? He's
yes,
here.
that's true.
So I can say from my perspective, the overall assignment is to reach from truth below all the way up to you to get truth running through us. It's extremely challenging to reach that long.
That's true.
And to get the truth running through us and to vibrate like a harp string so that the vibrations of truth go out from our vertical presence throughout all the dimensions that this vertical presence passes through.
That's true.
And as that vibration of truth goes out, then it acts like a counteracting presence to the untruths that are pretty much everywhere, to my horror and dismay.
True.
And that this helps this extremely large presence see who he actually has to work with, as opposed to all the beings who say, oh yes, I'll do this till I die, and they do virtually nothing, actually.
That's true.
The next thing that I have to contribute to this conversation right now is my own personal growth process, and I'm aware that so far, through this most recent round of my involvement, I've become aware that I had what was thought of as an incurable disease.
Yes, it's true.
And that I have not had an episode since I was 7 years old and came to join this team. And so from my perspective, that disease is cured through a lot of effort on behalf of everybody involved.
That's true.
And also by being willing to look the ugly truth in the face.
Yes,
and
that's true.
That what is next for me is to, the metaphor that has been presented to me is to become a basketball player, a really good basketball player, even though I'm actually built to be playing football.
Yes, that's true.
My energy body isn't designed to be a basketball player, but that is the assignment, become a basketball player. So I can do that. I can stretch longer.
I can stretch longer. That's true.
My story is I have a thumbs up from this big presence.
That's true.
Would anyone else like to speak?
I, Glenn, am aware that I have a similar build to Sam. I'm also built like a football player, and the assignment, that part of the assignment seems the same. Is to get long basketball player look, long and thin, truth to truth. And to keep the upward flow at the back.
Yes, that's huge.
It's huge.
For all of us, light at the back.
Yes, that's true. And we
there, right there was a big shift, so obviously I didn't have it going, did I?
It's true. And we have recently become aware that we all have mountains, personal growth opportunities that are huge, and walking on the path around the mountain doesn't actually make the mountain go away. And so it's critical for all of us to begin the process of identifying our mountains and then doing the self-work needed to eliminate them, to make them no longer a problem for us. So
to heal them.
To heal them. So that the path, instead of having to go around mountain, can just go straight. And I'm aware that my mountain is large and important, and for me to do now.
Now, Paul the attorney has the microphone, and he's talking about how it is to be a, quote, outsider, unquote, to this group, and to have come to be involved in the process from that perspective, and that at first he felt very much that he was Asha's attorney.
Yes, it's
that
true.
She had been injured, severely injured in the line of duty repeatedly, to the point that her existence is in question.
That's true.
And that he took that on as a cause, and that he has given the bulk of his professional and personal life to it.
It's true.
For decades, through the benefit of space-time, working with eternal bubbles. He aged at a rate far in advance of the rate that we're aging at,
That's
we
true.
the team members, until he joined the team. And when he joined it, really joined it, he stopped aging in accelerated fashions, and now is just a day for him is the same as a day for us.
Yes, that's true.
However, he can help team members see things about themselves that they don't know about themselves, and that the other team members also don't know about them, because we've all been working together too long to see each other clearly.
Yes, that's true.
He says, we know this very well. He's saying something I know very well, which is that the most difficult person to do a healing for is ourselves. And the next most difficult people are
The people
our
we're
loved
close
ones.
to. That's true.
And we all love each other. We've worked together for a really long time.
That's true.
Depending how you count it, years to many
Millennia.
millions of years.
That's true.
And therefore we can't see each other very clearly. It's
No.
difficult. It's difficult, but he can.
That's true.
And that not only is it easier for him to see us clearly, it's easier for us to hear these perceptions from him than it is to hear them from a loved one.
Yes, that's true.
And he's referring pointedly to Luce right now, and
Yes.
saying, for example, when Paul took on Asha's case, he began it as a personal injury lawsuit, in effect.
Yes, that's true.
And then he broadened it to a class action lawsuit to include all pure children who had been, from his perspective, he's saying, abused in the line of duty
That's true.
in their work for spirit.
That's true.
And as it happens with class action lawsuits, an invitation goes out to all the pure children, and he just sent it out with that intent, to all pure children
Yes.
who have been potentially abused in the line of their work for spirit,
That's
to
true.
contact him. And that Luce did.
That's true.
Luce responded. And so far no one else has responded, but that doesn't
No.
mean no one else will respond. It's simply that the others are also ancient.
That is true.
They happened so long ago that maybe those people have died at the soul level, maybe of their injuries.
Right.
Maybe they have, quote, moved on, unquote, which means they've suppressed it and they aren't ready to deal with it.
Right.
And that feels like that's where the bulk of it is those people have, quote, moved on, unquote, which just means they've just buried it so deep that it's going to
Right.
take them a really long time and a lot of suffering to bring that up to the surface again so that they can deal with it.
That's true.
But that Luce's experiences are so recent that it's still right here on the surface.
That's
Luce's
true.
pain is right there, and so Luce responded, and now he pats Luce's hand. That's so nice.
Yes, that's true.
And he and Luce have been spending the earlier part of this day working together to try to get to a lawsuit that's personal for Luce. So just as there's a personal injury lawsuit for Asha that has been filed in many different courts,
Yes.
and a class action lawsuit that has been filed on behalf of all pure children everywhere, Paul is working to put together a personal injury lawsuit on behalf of Luce to file
that's true.
throughout this process. And this helps us break through the layers of denial and lies, just flat out lies, above us, to move from where we are up the staircase, more steps, left foot, right foot, closer to this large loving presence who is sitting in our midst right now.
That's true.
And he says he has no idea what his personal growth challenge is, and he hopes that will come clear over time.
That's true.
But I get a solid, Sam, get a solid thumbs up that was what he was supposed to say.
That's good.
So the microphone passes to Luce, and he begins, and Sam, I'm just narrating what he's saying. He's saying that he's really sorry about all the pain he's caused to all of us, and he's going around the circle and looking at us individually and saying, I'm sorry. It's like he's saying, I'm sorry, Glenn. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sorry, Pan. And then he just gets down on his knees in front of Asha and holds her hands and says, I'm so sorry.
That's true.
And I hope you can forgive me, and I know I have a lot of work to do, but I'm on it now. There are a lot of things I never told people because I was afraid that it wouldn't be well received.
That's true.
And I thought it was enough that my actions were appropriate, and I was just being crazy to think that my thoughts didn't count.
It's true.
And I see that now, and I see how not talking about all these things openly has created division and harm, and I'm on it. And the process of working with Paul, Luce is saying, the process of working with Paul has been very helpful because he's asking me pointed questions that help me pull out these memories that otherwise would be disjointed.
Yes, it's true.
And maybe I wouldn't even access them.
That's true.
So I'm extremely grateful to have this opportunity to work with Paul. And I think that by the time we're done with this, putting together the lawsuit work that Paul and I are doing together, that I will know a lot better than I do right now what it is I need to do for my personal growth work.
Yes.
But I do see how, as a team, it's so crucial for us to stay stretching from truth above to truth below, and that I can do that.
That's true.
And I also understand that if I'm not doing that, it's revealed as resistance, because unlike the rest of you, where you have to really work to reach there, I can do it right now. I can just do it. Boom. It's not like I break a sweat.
Right, that's true.
And therefore, it is really quite clear that in moments I'm not doing it, it's because I've conveniently forgotten, which usually means I don't want to do it.
Right.
And right there, it's a highlight, a spotlight on something that might be a clue of something really deep that needs to be worked on. I see that now, thanks to my work with Paul earlier today.
That's true.
I know I damaged a lot of people, and I'm really sorry for that, and I'm going to make it right. And one thing that is being pointed out to me right now, I'm speaking,
yes,
is that when Sam set his intention, this might have been a couple of weeks ago in Planet Earth Dating,
yes,
Sam said, I want to, in effect, balance my karma. I want to balance out the wrongs I have done and more. I want to have the scales balanced so that I have contributed, not so that I have simply harmed.
Yes.
And at the time, my intention was to clear my name and my family's name.
That's true.
But I see now that that's kind of like superficial, kind of like caring what things look like or how people perceive things. And what I want to do now is not only balance my karma, but actually contribute. Identical to Sam's intention.
That's true.
I'm really grateful for that shift.
Luce.
Yes.
Glenn, I would like to apologize. If there was ever anything I said or did that made you feel like it was not safe.
Oh, definitely said and did a lot of things.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to apologize for that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. And Sam also said and did a lot of things. I'm still loose.
Yeah.
That made it blatantly obvious to me that he wasn't open to hearing what I would have to say.
That's true.
However, I also have watched Sam through his own unfolding process and how he tried multiple times to let us know that he had that disease.
It's true.
And how none of us wanted to hear it from him either.
That's true.
And so I'm not judging either of you guys because I didn't want to hear from Sam any more than Sam wanted to hear from me.
That's true.
What was really going on with me. And I know what game theory would say, Glenn.
Yes.
Game theory would say that when we get to the heart of what's really going on with you,
yes,
that we will all feel the same way about that as well. Game theory would say that each of us who has hung tight when 99.9999999% of the non-physical has dropped away.
That's true.
Is that each of us has chosen something extremely challenging to deal with.
That's true.
In this immediate presence, quote, incarnation, unquote, that is an incarnation in the non-physical.
That's true.
So I think we'll feel the same about each other when all is said and done.
Yes, I think so.
The difference between us and Asha is that Asha chose something that was visible and obvious.
That's true.
Because in the non-physical, unfortunately, there's a lot of prejudice. We've come to see that.
That's true.
We're prejudiced against gays. We're prejudiced against people with genetic disorders that cause them to have episodes where
That's
they harm
true.
others.
Any kind of disability, really.
Any kind of disability. There's huge prejudice against any kind of disability. And in addition to that, there's huge prejudice against women.
That's true.
And Asha has chosen to be visibly a woman.
A small woman.
A small woman,
That's
really
true.
small. And therefore chose the most difficult path in the non-physical as far as being taken seriously.
That's true.
So good for Asha.
Good
She
for
didn't
Asha.
hide it. I hid mine.
That's true. Me too, me too.
Yeah. And Sam over there
Sam
is
too.
raising his hand and saying, yes, he hid his too.
And game theory.
Game theory would be, my friend, that you're hiding it too. And game theory might also be that you're unaware of it. But when I say that, it seems incorrect. It seems like Pan knows.
That's true. That's true.
My story is that I, Luce, just got the thumbs up from that big loving presence.
That's true.
And so now the microphone can pass.